So, why did I choose a Toyota Tacoma and not a Jeep? Everyone else in my family has Jeeps. That's what this whole channel has primarily been based on, and now we're trying something different. Stay tuned to find out why.
It's raining.
The right time.
Alright, so first off, I have nothing against Jeeps. I've owned a few of them. Me and Justin, we built the XJ in high school with my dad. I then, after that, bought the TJ, built that thing up. Then I drove my dad's JK for about a year. And I've been on so many trips with my dad and my family, just driving around in Jeeps. I've gotten so used to them, and I actually do like Jeeps quite a bit. But one thing I've always wanted to try was the Tacoma. Just seeing the way that people build these things out and all the different like aftermarket parts they do for them, I've just kind of fallen in love with them. And I think one of the first things we need to talk about that almost everyone else talks about is reliability. Because that is a huge thing about the Tacomas, is they are almost bulletproof. This 2015 Tacoma has the 4-liter V6. We bought it, it had about 68,000 miles on it. And this thing runs so smooth. I don't have to worry about this thing breaking down in the middle of nowhere, not starting one morning at camp. It's a solid platform. These things are known to run for hundreds of thousands of miles. And I think that's just something that is very important to me when I'm out camping, kind of in the middle of nowhere. So that's the first reason I really wanted a Tacoma. Okay, so another big reason that I chose a Tacoma over a Jeep is they're just very comfortable. It's almost like driving a car. The Jeeps, they're known to be a little loud. They're not very aerodynamic. And with the hardtop or the soft top, it's not the most insulated kind of material, so you get a lot of outside noise. As with the Tacoma, it's pretty quiet in here. On the road, I'm not getting headaches on long road trips. It's quiet. I don't have to blast my music just to drown out all the other noises. And with the independent front suspension, whereas the Jeep has a front solid axle, this thing just drives better, soaks up the bumps on the road, takes corners better. It's just a better overall driving experience, and that was important to me when I considered the fact that I want to take this thing on some pretty long road trips across the country. So a lot of people like to talk about the capabilities of a Tacoma versus a Jeep on the trail. But the truth is, this thing has taken me pretty much everywhere I've wanted to go so far, and those trails are kind of the most extreme I plan on taking this thing on. Now, it's never going to be a rock crawler like a Jeep. You're not going to get it all flexy on these big rocks, but this thing is pretty capable. It's impressed me and my dad when we took it up to Alabama Hills, Sandstone Canyon. It's done a lot of pretty technical obstacles. And this is the TRD off-road, and some of the benefits of choosing this trim of Tacoma is, one, it comes with the rear lockers, so that way if I'm spinning through these obstacles, getting a little flexed out, I can just get myself through them. Another thing is it has the A-Track system. Now this is a second gen, it doesn't have crawl control and all those different modes, but it does have the A-Track, and that thing has actually been super helpful. To situations where I've thought maybe I might need this locker. I just push that button and it just gets me right through it. It is still stock right now, but it does have the Bilstein shocks on it, which make it pretty comfortable off-road. Now we'll get into a little bit of what I did for the suspension just for the 4-wheel campers right now, but so far it's been doing really well off-road and performing almost exactly how I've wanted it to. So I don't think Jeep is the only right answer to take off-road. I would say, yeah, right out of the box, Jeeps are more capable. You upgrade them, Jeeps are probably going to be more capable anyways. But you don't need some crazy rock crawler to come out here, have good adventures, and just enjoy being out on the trail. Sometimes all you need is 4-wheel drive and maybe some decent off-road tires. Some all-terrains will get you a lot of places. So honestly, I have no complaints over choosing a Tacoma over a Jeep so far. Now, another thing to consider is it's not just me going off-road in this thing. It's me, my girlfriend, and her dog. So we kind of needed the extra space that you kind of don't get in a Jeep. And while I'm not talking about purely just the cab space, we have done things to make this kind of a little more user-friendly towards us by installing this goose gear back here. So without those back seats in there and having this big platform, we have room for a fridge, our boxes, backpacks, and pretty much half of it's taken up by the big dog bed back there. And while this might not be a whole lot of space compared to a Jeep, what really made this thing stand out was kind of the bed of the truck. And while there's some other options out there, the Tacoma kind of just met all the different criteria for us. As you can see, we've been using pretty much the full capacity of this bed using the 4-wheel campers Project M. Now, this thing gives us kind of a lot of different options. One, it gives us a nice enclosed space to put all our gear, so that way it's not, getting dusty, it's not getting rained on, or people aren't putting their hands in there and taking stuff that maybe they shouldn't be taking. Also, it just makes setting up camp a lot easier. You do a few latches on each side, pop it up, and you're done. Another great thing about this is it kind of gives us a nice place to, I would say, like, kind of hibernate if the weather's not so great, if it's cold outside, if it's raining, we can just go inside and kind of hang out. There's a lot of different options and possibilities that we can do with this thing, and that was kind of one of the deciding factors for the truck, was being able to put something like this on there. Now, this thing doesn't weigh too much. On the sticker on the back, it says it weighs about 352 pounds. I'm gonna guess a little bit more than that with some of the options we got on here, but it's relatively lightweight, and I don't really notice it on the back of the truck, which is super important to me. One thing we did do to kind of help out with that extra weight right now, while it's on stock suspension, is we added sumo springs in the back. Now, that's going to help it, not slam into those bump stops. It's going to help the back end not sag. And it's made such a smooth ride with the camper on the back. Now, the bed up there has more than enough room. I'm 6'4", and I can't even use all the space that's up there. It's really nice, super comfortable, and it kind of just makes for a nice glamping setup. Now, with the bed being one of the biggest reasons why I wanted a Tacoma, let's kind of talk about what my plans are for what we have back here. Now, with the Project M, it gives us a lot of space to mount things on the sides. It comes with these like aluminum rails that you can use these, it's almost like an airline track, I think is what they called it. You use ratchet straps, you can hold stuff down. Maybe we'll find a way to put like some type of heater or like some storage bags up there. And then it comes with kind of these really nice benches on both sides. So it gives a little room to kind of set stuff. Maybe we can find a way to strap stuff down, build some storage on top of it. And so what I want to do is kind of build like an aluminum skeleton, and I want to fill that with some soft storage bags. Now, a lot of people, they'll build drawers, they'll use plastic, and it gets a little heavy when you do that. But I think keeping the aluminum skeleton and just filling it with some soft storage bags is going to save a lot of weight, and it's going to make it super practical. Now, it'll probably take a bit of work trying to figure out how to keep them securely in place, whether that's some type of strap, maybe some Velcro, or whatever we decide or come up with to keep it in place and not falling around on the trail. But as far as my kitchen setups, I think I'm just going to put everything in a one bag. I tend to just cook on the tailgate. I'll set up my stove, a little cutting board, and just do everything on the tailgate. So I don't think I'm going to need the fridge back here. I don't think I'm going to need some big pull-out drawer. I think just keeping things simple, lightweight, and basic is going to be really beneficial to us. So now that we kind of have a game plan for how we want the storage set up in the back, we have a few other things we need to kind of think about as we're building that. One is going to be water. Right now, I just use one of the Dometic water containers that comes with the little electric pump. And while it's very handy and it's kind of a neat little trick to just tap the little faucet and just, have on-tap water out on the trails, I'm thinking maybe we build something up against the cab of the truck, pushed back all the way in the bed. Some type of maybe like a 10-gallon water tank, or just something that I'm not going to have to fill up all the time and is going to last me on some pretty long trips. Another thing we have to think about is power. So do we want to just continue using a Goal Zero? Do we want to have one in the cab of the truck and then one in the bed so we can power the lights and the fan and everything back here and use it in the cab for the fridge? I don't think so. I'm thinking maybe we do something a little bit more hardwired into the truck, whether that's some type of S-Pod or Switch Pro system. We can run power, we can power the fridge in the back seat, and maybe add a few more accessory lights, maybe some dust lights on the back, maybe a light to kind of just help illuminate the area back here while we're cooking. And I think that's one of the really cool things about the Project M, is it kind of gives you a blank canvas to just build what you want back here. You can make everything to your specs. There's no right or wrong way to do it, and the possibilities are honestly endless. As long as you have an imagination, this thing can be as cool as you want it to be. So one of the pretty cool things about Jeeps is the wide variety of aftermarket support that they have. There's so many different companies. You can go online and find at least 20 different parts for whether it's a wheel, a running board, bumpers. The possibilities are endless. And while I thought maybe going away from Jeep, that might be, I won't have as many options to kind of build it the way I want. But for the Tacoma, there's actually a huge aftermarket support for them. You can find everything from wheels to lift kits, rock sliders, bumpers, new hoods, fenders. There's pretty much everything you need out there. The only thing that I'm running into is kind of difficulty finding things that I like. Now, there are a lot of different options for the bumper on the second gen Tacoma, but a lot of them are steel and they're very heavy. I don't want to add 100 plus pounds to the front of the truck. I really want to find something aluminum. It's just hard finding that in a style that I like. Now, when it comes to the wheels, that's another thing I'm running into. I really want to find some polished aluminum wheels, and I think that's not a very popular option anymore. So they're kind of hard to come by. Usually when I find ones I like, they're out of stock. And the ones that are available, I don't particularly like the design as much. So I'm trying to go with polished aluminum to kind of tie in the silver theme of the truck. I don't really want to go with gray or black wheels. I think that might be a little overdone on the Tacoma, but we're going to be doing some type of wheel here very soon, and we're still deciding on the suspension. Now, one thing that is very important to us is to maintain the drivability of the truck. We don't want to go too high and kind of just ruin what we thought the Tacoma was great at, and that was being a comfortable road trip car. One thing we also have to consider is all the weight in the back with the Project M and the storage system that we're going to be building back there. So we need to find some type of heavy-duty leaf spring just to handle that extra weight. We don't want it to have too much body roll. Sitting up too high and having a very high center of gravity, that's usually not a good combination for off-roading. But yeah, one thing I really like is the aftermarket support. The only limit is your imagination. It's a big Lego for adults, and I really love it. All right, so this is my girlfriend Sam, and kind of I just want to get your thoughts on the Tacoma so far.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. It really looks good with the camper on it.
You were almost more excited than me when we put that on there.
I was so excited. It just makes it so much easier and faster than setting up camp with a tent.
Yeah.
And I know Winnie has a lot of space, so that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I've always just enjoyed coming out and being out in nature.
Yeah, and having the goose gear and the four-wheel campers, you tend to bring a lot of stuff, so it gives you a lot of space to just pack whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the big benefits of the truck is just having that much space.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with you and Winnie. It's just a lot of stuff to bring out here.
She mostly brings a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
not me.
We'll say it's her.
Yeah.
So now that we've gone over why the Tacoma was really good for my specific needs, I think it's really important to just point out it doesn't matter what you drive. If you have a Jeep, if you have a Toyota, if you have a Chevy, a Ford, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I think the most important thing is just coming out here, spending time with family, friends, and just making those memories. Yeah, it's cool to see the passion that some people have and kind of the brand loyalty based off the heritage and, all the whole lifestyle that comes with it. But at the end of the day, just get something with four-wheel drive and just have fun. That's all that matters. For me and my dad, it was never about, we're only gonna, stick with Jeeps. Growing up, he taught me a lot about cars. He had, he's had a new car every few years, and he would always, invite me into the garage, and he'd teach me kind of everything I needed to know. And it's never been about sticking to one thing. It's, been branching out, trying new things, and it's just a passion for the automotive world and not, one specific thing. And just the memories we've made, whether it was in a Jeep, whether it was us with the Jeep and the Tacoma, we've made some unforgettable memories, and it's really brought us closer together just getting out here and just having these amazing trips. So at the end of the day, Jeep, Toyota, whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, no matter what you drive, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it, kind of talking about why I chose the Tacoma and my build plans in the future for it. Right now, as it sits, it's pretty much bone stock, but I'm having so much fun with this truck. Just going out here, going to these beautiful places on the weekends while I have the free time. It's just, I can't ask for anything more. You know, just sharing some type of common interest and kind of common passion has really brought us close together as a family. And I can't be more thankful than that. For us, it hasn't been about what you drive. It's just been, just get out there and have fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to check us out at TrailRecon.com. Thanks for watching.